Wow, where are we, Winston?
We're riding somewhere outside of Hanoi, and it's kind of interesting how quickly the scenery changes, you know?
You know what's cool is that whenever we rode in China, we kind of knew where we were going. Like, we knew the directions, we know, oh, this road leads east, blah, blah. I have no idea what direction we're in. I don't know where this goes, but all I know is we keep going through these villages that are really, really cool. There are these little crowded, tiny little alleyway villages, and it's really fun to explore them.
You know, I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again, it reminds me of Guangdong. It's exactly the same sort of thing.
It is. It really looks the same.
I feel like, well, obviously they're very close to each other, but I do feel like the culture and the architecture and everything, it comes from a common root.
Sure, sure.
You know?
You little anthropologist, you. Anyway, that common root is the reason that East Asian cultures in general, but specifically to talk about China, and Vietnam from what I've seen as well, there's a common bond. And
sure.
It's a bond through nationalism, it's a bond through race, it's a bond through everyone is in the same boat.
Yes.
Everyone works for the collective, there's remnants of communism left over, and we also
By the way, take a look. These are pork bikes.
Oh yeah, look at these guys. Pork bikes.
Yeah, that's how your pork gets delivered here. So when you're eating pork, remember it's being dragged through dirty highways on the back of motorbikes. Anyway, same in China, southern China. Continue.
In China, they don't even cover them up.
No,
Here they put blankets on them.
Yep.
So the poor pigs don't get dirty.
Yeah.
Anyway, through the common bond of nationalism, race, all this kind of stuff, right? Oh,
yeah.
shit.
There's a big truck behind you.
Yeah, I'm gonna
stick to the very right. Let him pass.
It's very scary.
Yes, that's going to be our next topic, but anyway.
Anyway, look at this little,
this
little painted murals,
mural,
propaganda. Yeah. What are they doing? What are they carrying?
Rocks.
Rocks. Now that's good. That's really
maybe
nice.
Sacks.
Anyway, look at that picture as an example of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Everyone's smiling. It's the way that society's portrayed. Everyone's working together.
Yeah.
We're Chinese, we're Vietnamese, right? So, it's very diametrically opposed to the way that individualism in the West works, right?
Correct.
And in a way, it is self-defeating the way that America... that was an open pork.
That was an open pork.
It's self-defeating in the way that America right now is kind of cannibalizing itself through complaints and bitter arguments and opposing ideals.
Sure.
Where China and Vietnam, where we are now, is just kind of chugging along.
Yeah.
People doing their normal daily stuff without getting caught up in the bitter politics. And this is a very touchy topic because you either believe in individualism or you appreciate collectivism.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough to see and admit the problems with individualism that we're seeing right now in America. What do you think?
Yes, I'm going to do a little bit of a rant.
Okay.
Let me open up my visor so I can...
Man, this clutch is so bad.
Yeah.
If I twist the throttle all the way, it just skips.
It just
doesn't put the power down.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I really dislike a lot of this nationalism stuff that happens in China, but there is something that the West can learn from China, and that is the solidarity that they have. They stick together. It's always 我们中国人, 我们的中国. It's like, in other words, us Chinese people, our Chinese, our China. And it doesn't matter where they go in the world or what they do, they always identify as Chinese first and whatever else second, right?
Right.
And if anyone says anything bad about China, they take it as a personal insult, as if you're insulting that individual, you know? And they'll jump down your throat, and they back each other up and they back their country up. There's a lot of road pork, dude.
Road pork. It's road pork delivery day.
Yeah, it is. Oh, we should have probably gone down there. It looks much nicer.
Like the next one.
Oh, we can go down here.
We can go down here.
Just careful, it's a blind...
You guys want to go into like a little collectivist village?
It's a blind corner with pork. There's... Oh, that was
hit with pork.
Pork heads. Gross. Anyway.
Pork heads.
Yeah. No.
These houses are cute. Anyway.
Everyone knows we're moving over to America. And I have now spent a couple of months there preparing with you. We've been setting up our business and all that.
Right.
And there's one thing that I really don't like about America. And that is how a lot of Americans, for some dumb reason, think that America is like the worst place in the world.
Right.
Like they drum up the problems. They make it out as if everyone is suffering, you know?
Right.
Everyone's a victim there. You know, it makes me mad because it's literally the nicest country that I've ever lived in. You know,
right.
People have it so easy. Everything works so well. I mean, like the post gets delivered every day,
Right.
whereas in South Africa it just gets stolen. You know, that kind of thing. You don't get these massive amounts of violence and crime everywhere.
Right.
You know, you don't have poverty on the levels that you see in China or Africa or any of the places I've been. People have it so good, right? But you can't say that, because as soon as you try to say something good about America, the first thing they'll say is like, oh, what about downtown Detroit? You know,
Right.
it's like 3,000 murders a year or something like that, or gunshots or this and that. I'm like, yeah, dude, but I mean, if you want to go down to like the worst crime-ridden area of your country and use that as the gold standard of your whole country, something wrong with you, you know?
Right. Yeah, you get a lot of these comments.
And like I say, yeah, sorry to carry on, but people go on as if they're oppressed, as if people are out to suppress them and stop them from being successful in life. Or it's, you know, it's always like some kind of like whining to your parents that there's like bullies at school type thing. And it's like, I don't understand. You guys have it good, you know?
Right.
Whoop.
Is this just a house?
Milk dogs.
Milk dogs?
Milk dogs.
Are you freaking serious?
Milk dogs.
Bro.
Get out of
Bro.
there.
I'm not
Yeah, enough milk dogs.
I'm not freaking around with milk dogs.
Yeah, you go first. Oh man, I'm stalling you.
Oh shit. Milk dogs.
There, yeah.
Milk freaking milk dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart's pounding.
Alright, we got away. I hate milk dogs. Yeah. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that people complain the hell out of living in America, and it's unwarranted. It's very unwarranted. And then a result of that is you see people actually trying to sabotage their own country. You know, you get all these victimhood nonsense things going on where people, you know, very recently there was that that actor who sort of claimed that he was attacked by racists, and it turns out that he put the whole thing on, you know, and he was actually attacked by two of his Nigerian friends, you know. But he did that to try and prove how oppressive America is. I'm like, come on, man. You're literally trying to destabilize your entire country just because you want to feel special.
Yeah,
anyway. And I'll just try to finish off my long rant here.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that China would never try to destabilize itself inside. The people would not go out and openly try and destroy their country from the inside,
right.
Mainly because they can't, and if they tried they just disappear, right? But I feel like they wouldn't want to anyway, because they have a lot of national pride, whereas it seems like at the moment, at least in America and other Western nations, it's the pride is to kind of bash your own self and bash your own country, you know what I mean? Do you have anything to add to that little rant of mine?
I sure do.
Right, what is it?
That guy's got a gold chain of note. Oh my gosh, it's hot and my butt hurts.
We need
bad.
water. We need water.
We do. I'm very butt hurt right now.
Okay, good for you.
Anyway, as I was saying, before our battery cut out, guys. By the way, aren't these houses kind of charming? They put paint on them here, unlike in China.
Yes, I do like that very much about here. I've mentioned it before, but the fact that you see a lot of fresh paint.
They like have pride in the way their house looks. They're kind of cute.
Yeah.
I know they're poor, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think your perspective is super interesting as a South African living in America now, because you see things that normal people would take for granted.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting is that I am actually in the exact same position as you.
Okay.
Because I have been living in China for 10 years. Like I say, I grew up there, right? It's my adulthood. So when I came back, I didn't go very often. It's not like I hung out there half the year, right?
Sure.
When I came back to actually be an adult in America and try to figure things out, I realized how much stuff I took for granted when I grew up there.
Right.
And it's not me being, I'm a proud American, right?
Yeah, sure.
I hate nationalism, probably more than you.
Yeah.
I freaking hate it, but I do see a lot of things that you guys in the comment section really need to be zwei about, and that means shut up.
Yeah.
You need to be zwei about a lot of stuff, and I mean everyone has the right to rant and talk about stuff that they think is an issue. I think that's freedom of speech. That's great.
Absolutely.
But I think you guys are very wrong about some things. So when I say, hey, like water quality, there's a lot of lead poisoning and E. coli, right?
Sure.
then they're like, well, you think that's bad? Go to Michigan, where they had this Flint, Michigan, like, water scandal, you know? It's like, yeah, okay, that's really shitty, and a developed country shouldn't have to go through something like that.
Of course.
But when I'm commentating on something that affects millions of people, not just a few,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I'm talking about something that affects an entire nation with 1 billion people.
Yeah.
Where the groundwater is almost gone, and it's full of cancer and chemicals, and people are dying, and children are getting cysts and tumors because of the drinking water, and getting sick and dying in the hospital. That has nothing to do with your little, I'm sorry to say, Flint, Michigan problem.
Yes.
And my heart goes out to everyone that had to deal with it. It's terrible. But you can't say, but in America it's worse.
No, you can't.
Even when we talk about things like violence or crime, right? You do not, for 1 second, go on Google and look up China crime rate and start to believe those numbers.
No.
We know what happens in the villages. We see the WeChat videos. It is suppressed and the numbers are lied about. So I give you a challenge. Go out in America without trying to seek it out and start filming all of this crime you keep talking about.
Yeah.
Telling me I shouldn't move my kid there because she's going to get kidnapped and raped and murdered, right? Show me some examples of this, because I can give you 5 examples of 5 children that were just kidnapped in the park my daughter plays at in Huizhou.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm not taking offense that you're shitting on my country. We should criticize things that are a problem. That's how things get better.
Yeah.
But don't for one instance, and I'm sorry if this is a little ranty, but this gets me really mad. You guys don't know how good you have it until you've been away.
Absolutely.
And it's you're doing no one a favor by trying to do whataboutism because you want to feel like a victim, because you're not a victim in America.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, you're absolutely not. Remember when we talked about the fake vaccine scandal, which actually resulted in real deaths of children, right? And people are like, oh, you think that's bad? You should see, like, America's vaccine is like big pharma, this and that. It's like, come on, shut up. We're talking about, like, your children.
Don't sabotage or detract from the issue because you want to say, well, actually, we have to deal with this. It's not that's not the conversation we're having.
No, it's not. Oh,
it's a
a
war
graveyard.
Isn't that weird? All those stars.
Yeah, that must be a military graveyard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
It's pretty interesting. Yeah,
it's definitely from the American War, which they call it here, which is funny, isn't it?
Yep. No, absolutely. That vaccine thing actually annoyed me because it's not like you take your child to the hospital in America to a trusted doctor and they get given a fake vaccine that kills them, right?
Right.
Whereas that actually happened in China. You know, you took your child to the hospital, and it's not the doctor's fault because they didn't know. It was the cheat companies that were selling the fake expired vaccine, right? But you're taking your kid to a trusted hospital and they die. That doesn't happen in America. And if it does, people get sued and there's big repercussions. Whereas in China, it doesn't. So it does annoy me that people, for some reason, keep thinking that America is worse than the rest of the world.
Can I say something again?
Sure.
I want to not retract some of my anger, but I want to redirect it because I want people to understand that when I'm saying, hey, you guys are way out of line here, right? I'm not acting like the Chinese people that say you can't just don't criticize it, right?
Sure.
Please bring issues to light. That is literally how the West was successful. Right. Through democracy, through elections, through actual criticism and rebuilding of constitutions.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is that when you try to find a non-issue, not only does it serve to make people around you kind of look at you through the lens of politics or whatever you're angry about.
Yeah.
And then now you have these like fake enemies that you probably actually see eye to eye with more than you would with someone from another country. Now they're your enemy because you disagree about something that really just boils down to what a football game is.
Sure.
You know, red versus blue, you know. When you're really not focusing on how to make things better and you're just complaining about it, right?
Yeah.
And then you start to say, maybe life is better in other places. What I see from your videos is that it's better because of this reason, right?
Sure.
It's just absolute hypocrisy and lies, and that's what pisses me off, is because I did have to see that stuff.
Yeah.
You had to live in South Africa of all places.
Yep.
You know what injustice is.
Oh, I do.
You know what murder looks like.
Oh,
and
I
I swear to God, all these people that are whining in the comment section have never seen most of the issues that they complain about.
No, they haven't.
So stop. Stop.
Yeah, exactly. Just stop. Learn from China. Have a little bit of pride, you know. But what you don't want to learn from China is, like you said, their inability to criticize themselves.
Right.
You do need to be able to criticize, but you know, you have to be realistic about it. Stick together and work on solutions. That's why you and I do these videos about China, very often taken as very negative, because we're pointing out the issues. Because usually when you talk about issues and you point them out, people talk about them, solutions can be found. But if you ignore them and pretend that everything's hunky-dory, as they do in China all the time, that's when big issues happen, because things get swept under the rug and they never get changed. You know what I mean?
And in a way, the people that are trying to find these issues and say it's worse in America, what you're doing is actually very similar to China in the way that this victim mentality exists, right?
Sure.
It's not that you're going to do anything about it. It's just that you want someone to feel bad for you. And you're not going to get sympathy from us.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? Oh.
Hey, Shima, hey.
What? He's telling us to pull over or whatever.
No, he's like saying go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Never mind him. Yeah.
Anyway,
that got a bit off track there.
Right.
So, anyway, let's wrap this one up. I'm glad I got to talk about that. It's been bugging me a lot since I've been living in America, is to see people, you know, complain about nothing really.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so anything you'd like to tell our subscribers before we sign off?
Whether you yell hey at somebody riding by and give them a little wave to do something, but you don't understand them or not.
Yeah.
Let's go down here.
Oh, you want to go down there?
Yeah,
okay.
It looks cool.
All right, let me turn around. I'll do a milk dog turn.
Whether or not you are a person who wants to be a victim and say, hey, it's so much worse where I am. Pity me. I do understand that people go through stuff, and I have a lot of sympathy for people that have, you know, problems in their lives. But everyone does, right? And you have to admit that there are countries and cultures that have it off way worse than you, and you have to be a man and stand up to that fact that maybe your life isn't as bad as the majority of the world, right? It's tough to bite that off and chew it. It's sour and it's bitter, because then no one's gonna feel bad for you. But you gotta understand that's the reality of the situation, and if you want to be altruistic and actually help out, then maybe seek out some people that need help, and you might feel better about your own problems.
Yeah, let's go right.
Let me know what you guys think. Let's go right?
Yeah, right over here.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. And you know, whether or not you are a person who thinks that downtown Detroit is the gold standard of all the safety in America or not, we love you all the same. And until next time, you know the drill. As always, never take what you have for granted, and stay awesome. ADV China, every Monday, same time, same place. Wednesdays, Lao 86, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, on Friday, just in time for a beer, Serpent ZA.